Hello everyone, my name is Mark Fennell, and today I want to talk to you about the problems with Christianity. This is going to be the problems of Christianity part 1, because there's going to be several parts to this, and there's going to be like an introduction to the problems of Christianity. So let me get a couple things straight. First of all, I am generally pro-Christian, okay? What I want to do is bring Christians away from their dark ages into modern enlightenment. I see way too many Christians on YouTube, on the internet, on blogs, comments, generally a lot of places that are stuck in the dark ages. And that would be fine to leave them alone, except for the fact that their views are doing a great disservice to the overall movement. Okay? If we want to get to be people to be more spiritual, if we want to have the world become more enlightened, if we want them to be more godlike, peace-loving, good-hearted people with a good conscience, fair play, ethics, all of these wonderful things, as well as being connected to the spiritual world and understanding and believing it. You Christians have got to evolve from the Dark Ages. You've got to tone down your talk, and you have to evolve, because things that you say are an enormous hindrance to the overall movement of humanity. Now, considering that Christianity is one of the most popular religions in the world today, it is important then that Christians need to evolve. Okay? It's not just you who needs to evolve. You see, it's the way you're acting, what you tell others is wrong, and therefore hinders so many other people. Okay? That is the importance of the videos that I'm going to make. Okay? So, first thing is, the main reason I'm doing this is because Christianity is a major religion, and their dogma is restricting the general population. In fact, your words actually turn off a lot of people to where we want to go. Okay? I'm generally pro-Christian in your ethics. I'm anti-Christian in your dogma and your false beliefs. Okay? Now, me, you can watch all my other videos and books and blogs and everything else. I'm a spiritual messenger. It's another part I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of Christians that don't believe there was any messengers past, I don't know, whatever you want to say. Jesus, right? I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, but that was 2,000 years ago, and there's a lot of other messengers since then, all right? And I'm one of them. So, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen more, I've talked to more people than you can possibly imagine in the metaphysical realm. And I'll just give you one name, Joseph of Arimathea. You Christians know that name well, right? Well, he and Mary Magdalene came to visit me once, all right? They talked to me, they showed me some stuff. So, that's just one example. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you. All right. Now let's talk about the categories of people that I want to talk about here. So first of all, Christianity, as I said, is the most popular religion in the world. I will never say all Christians believe these things. That'd be impossible. But there are many Christians who believe and promote these wrong ideas. Okay? So, if you are one of those Christians who has these wrong beliefs, I'm talking to you. If you're one of those Christians who has these dogmas, which are interfering with the overall growth of our society, I'm talking to you. That's my computer glitching, acting up there. So I'm talking to those of you who I believe honestly are good people. You're good people. You're on the right track. You are far more ethical and evolved than a great majority of the people on the planet. But you have some wrong beliefs. That's who I'm talking to. All right? That's the group of you, the group of Christians that I'm talking to in these set of videos. Okay? Now let's talk about the competing groups of people here. Christians. And in particular, I'm talking about you Christians with your strict dogma and your closed view of religions. Then there are the New Age people who are really actually old age. Spirituality that's been true forever, been known by ancient Egyptians, by the Celts, by the Hindus, far longer than Christianity's been around. And from my own personal experience, I know most of those New Age beliefs are absolutely true. Right? Personal experience, not books, personal experience. Okay? But we, our New Age group, and Christians should be on the same side. But oftentimes we aren't. I see so many comments from Christians who are anti-New Age, and I don't know why. Because compared to the rest of the world, we're on the same side, or we should be on the same side. We should be on the same side, talking about being good, being ethical, being kind, being spiritual, having angels, being psychic. We really should be on the same side, not opposed to each other. So if you are a Christian who's opposed to New Age, you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong thing. Okay, you got to be open to this, because you're actually doing a disservice by putting down New Age people and the New Age movements, the New Age ideas. You are, first of all, you're wrong, but secondly, you are interfering with the whole process. Instead of bringing us together and being a larger group to evolve humanity, all you're doing is splitting us apart. You're creating a divide. And what does that do? For the critics who are critical of spirituality overall, they see our divide. And they look, see, even Christians and New Age spiritualists can't get along. That proves to you there's no religion. That proves to you there's no metaphysical reality. All right, so your divisiveness, instead of including us together, because we're really closer than you think, to the outer people, look at it and say, you guys are infighting, you don't know what you're doing, obviously there's something wrong. And even with Christians, you can see the history of Christianity. Honestly, the difference between Catholics and Protestants, very close. The difference between any one Protestant group and another, very close. I never understood the wars, because overall, in the big scheme, they're very close. All right, so Christians have got to get over their dogmatic view, splitting each other apart, instead focus on the big picture, where we can agree. Spirituality is real. God is real. Angels are real. We need to be kind to one another. We need to have a good conscience, ethical behavior, fair play. Okay? Let's all come to common ground on these things and let the dogma go. Right? No infighting, no accusatory. We need to join together, because if we're going to change the world, we need to be united on this. We really do. Okay? So, Christians, New Agers, let's unite. All right? Let's not be so dogmatic. All right? Then let's get to the other one, atheists. There are two types of atheists. There are the atheists who can be spiritual, but who just don't believe in a singular God. Then there are the atheists who don't believe in anything in the metaphysical at all whatsoever. Okay? Now, we want everybody in the world to evolve, to know what we know. That is, the metaphysical world exists, and that we can be much better than ourselves, what we currently are, individually and as society. Now, atheists come along, and what do they see from Christians? They see their dogma. Christians say, God says this, God says that, must go to church, can't drink, don't listen to rock and roll. You know, whatever these little things are. And those of you especially say demons. Oh, my goodness. Disney is demonic. The Beatles are demonic. My toaster is demonic. You know, quit with the hell talk. Quit with the demonic talk. Quit with the sins. Just shut that down. You know why? Because it turns people off. It turns people off to the bigger picture. Right? So the atheists who don't believe in anything metaphysical to begin with, they see that dogma and they think you're ridiculous. Like, what do you mean? No dancing, no partying, no rock and roll? You think the Beatles are the devil? You're insane. All this talk about hell being real, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but don't talk to people about going to hell. Nobody wants to hear it. All right? Nobody wants to hear about going to hell. Nobody. And the end of days, quit talking about that. Nobody wants to hear about it. Everybody is just doing the best they can to live their life right now. And they can either live it without God and without a spiritual life, or they can live it with God and with a spiritual life. Right? So which is more important? It's more important that they live it with God and with a spiritual life. So, again, that's why I'm telling you the problems with Christianity. While you know that angels and God exist, you are killing people off with the talk of sins and hell and everything under the sun being a product of Satan. Oh my God, so many things on the internet I've seen are products of Satan, according to Christians. It's just amazing. The main problem with it is it turns people off. Your talk of Satan, your talk of everything being demonic, of hell, your dogmatic rules turns people away. All right, so you've got to stop talking about it. You've got to stop talking about it. And if that's your only reason to be a Christian, is to be anti-Satan, I'm sorry, that's just not a good enough reason to be anything. Right? It's not. That's not even a real religion. You can't be anti-Satan. You can't be anti-rock and roll. That's not going to do it. You need to evolve your soul, and you need to be for aspiring to spiritual growth. Aspire to getting humanity to be more ethical. All right, you need to that part. So, again, your Christians, your antagonism toward New Agers creates a dividing line, which everyone else sees, and they just see another reason not to believe in God, not to go spiritual at all. You guys who are just dogmatic about Satan and demons and hell, I mean, boy, you Christians seem to love hell. As much as you seem to complain about Satan and hell, you sure do talk about it a lot. Really. It's ridiculous. you claim to be against Satan and hell, but boy, you sure do talk about it a lot. Makes me wonder sometimes. But anyway, that talk is a turnoff for everybody. So again, all the people that have not experienced spirituality, who don't know what it's like to be connected, again, they read that, they hear it, and it just turns them away. So again, you're doing a disservice to the whole movement, to the whole idea of growing humanity, evolving human beings as their soul, evolving the society, evolving the way we operate. That hell and Satan talk, the dogmatic talk, turns people away. So cut it out, right? Now there's a last group of people, and that's what I call the truly evil people, right? These people are truly evil, really evil, okay? Some of them just don't have a conscience. Just purely selfish. I want power. I want money. I'll do anything I can do to get it. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. I'm still working on the idea of where your conscience comes from and why you have it or why you don't. I still don't quite know the answer to that. But I will say these people are truly evil, right? And that's one level of evil. Then there are the others who I believe are evil by spiritual demons. All right? Now, while I don't like your demonic talk, because I think it's really bad, it really turns people off, I do think there are dark spirits. I do think there are dark, evil spirits out there, and they do invade and they do control. Now it's a minority, actually. It's not the majority, all right? Not the majority at all. I don't believe in most people are possessed by the devil, but there are some. You look at their behaviors, you look at their actions, and there is something going on beyond the norm, okay? Again, those people actually know of spirituality, but they actually know spirituality, but they're tapped into the dark side. They really are. And those people, a lot of those people are indeed in positions of power. Okay? It's very secretive and all that stuff. I don't want to go conspiracy theory. I don't think all of them in positions of power are that way, but you do your research, you look at individuals in particular positions of power, you see them. Okay, so I do believe they exist. Now, if we want to change the world, we need to get rid of the evil people in power. Those who are truly evil, without a conscience, or deliberately chosen to connect to the darker spirits. Okay? Now, as a Christian, your dogmatic talk of only one way to God is not going to help. Okay? There are multiple ways to God. Multiple ways. Your dogma of, like I said, saying everything is evil. The Toasters are evil. The Beatles are evil. Rock and roll is evil. Can only listen to religious music instead of secular music. It's like, when did secular music become bad? I mean, good grief. Beethoven, Mozart. I don't understand. When did secular music become a bad thing? All right. All that talk is just dividing us even more. And so you see, people who don't, you're pushing people away who don't experience the spirituality. They don't know the spirituality exists. So therefore, when you try to tell someone that this person truly has no conscience or is actually connected to the dark side, they're not going to believe that either. A person who does not believe in anything metaphysical, good or bad, is not going to believe that there are some people who have found the darker spirits who are controlling things in society. So, again, you're doing a disservice by not getting to the bigger, holistic picture. Okay? What we want to do is we want to grow the movement. We want to unite as many forms of spirituality as possible. We want to work together. We want to complement each other. Complement both ways, in both terms. First of all, complement in the I like you, I agree with you compliments, and also complement in the world of sense of meshing together. Okay? Filling in the cracks and working together as a partnership. Okay? Complement in two sense of the words. We need to do that. And as Christians, it's hard to say which is bigger, Christians or New Age, and a lot of New Age people are also Christians. So it's difficult to say which one's larger. But Christianity is a large group of people. And there's also a large subgroup of those Christians who I'm talking to who are dogmatic. The Bible says, and therefore. Book of Revelation says, and therefore. My preacher says, and therefore. There is only one way, and therefore. You need to get rid of all of that. Because first place, you're wrong, and second place, you're alienating all the people we need to bring in. So, Christians and New Agers, get together, tone down your talk of hell and Satan and the devil and sin. Because there's a lot of people out there who are looking at the side and they see all the conflict and division. They see ridiculous rules and they're completely turned off. You've completely turned them off to Christianity. And you completely turn them off to anything spiritual. Right? If being spiritual means no sex and no rock and roll, well, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. You know, who wants to do that? Okay. We want to be a growing movement. We want to get those people who are good people, but are not spiritual, to then realize there is a spirituality. To come into our fold, whatever spiritual group they find themselves connected to most, and then to get that spirit, whether you call it the angels, the divine energy, the Holy Spirit, whatever it is, to feel that and go, yeah, I know it's real. It's the first group we need to get involved. Then we need to go and get the non-believers, the atheists. Those people who look at everything with rational. I'm all for rational. I love logic. I'm excellent with my logic, but rational will only take you so far when, as you know, we can't see a lot of what's real. So we need to get those people involved. So we need to encourage them, not push them away, encourage them. Encourage them to see what's good. Right? Telling them they're going to go to hell is not going to help. Telling them about Satan, not going to hear it. Telling them to, not listen to a certain type of music or have sex or enjoy their lives is really, really not going to help. Really. And the more Christians who say that, push. You'll never get them back. So you want to tone down that talk so you can bring in all those atheists. And then eventually, again, the Spirit will come inside. It's up to us to bring them closer. Then it's up to the angels and the spirits to enter inside of them to show them that what's there. Okay? So this is what we need to do to grow and grow and grow and grow. Now, of course, there's the truly evil people. It's going to take a lot to get after them, all right? But they're actually a small minority. Now, of course, they have a lot of power positions, but they're also a minority. The thing is, if more and more of the people are into the fold of goodness and spirituality, then it will be easier to flip the truly evil people, right? I mean, imagine this. Imagine if 80% of the entire world of individual humans are generally good, generally ethical, generally kind to one another, and they are connected to spiritual. They see angels, they feel it, they know what's real. Imagine 80% of the world knowing that. Now you get the other 20%. People who do things just because they're selfish, most of them, not evil, just selfish. We now have the power and the goodness inside, the character and the goodness inside. Let me put it this way. To make a change, we have to have two things. We have to have people who have the character and the goodness inside of them. And then we need many of them. Okay? So we're getting a bunch of people, 80% of the population of the world, good people, good inside, good character. Good because it's in their soul. Not because God said, Bible said, pastor said, but because it's gotten into their soul, and because they're spiritual, and because they're connected. And if they're part of a religion that helps them continue that's good. 80% of the people are that way. Then the selfish people who are not evil, just selfish, will be able to make the changes because we're the majority. We'll be able to make the changes. We'll be able to protest effectively. We'll be able to be leaders ourselves. We'll elect good leaders, and we'll be able to make the changes gradually, effectively from that standpoint. And then the smallest 5% who are truly evil and truly delving into the dark side, we may or may not be able to get rid of them. But if we're at this point of 90% good people, their power over us is going to be minimal. And our society, because we are a society, and if 80 to 90% of us are good people who make up society, society will be much better. Okay? That's how I see this progressing. So Christians, I believe, are doing a great disservice to the movement by looking only in this little box. You're not seeing the whole bigger picture of where we need to go. Okay? You're not seeing the whole thing of where we need to go. So again, let me remind you. Join with the New Age movement. First, because most of the people who are the New Agers are in fact correct. If you do not believe they're correct, at least do not criticize them, because they are correct. And at some point, you should evolve, open your mind to know that most of that is true. Second, open your mind that the Bible is not the only word of wisdom. That's just one set of pages. We've had another 2,000 years of humans, people being inspired by the divine. All right, we've had Mozart and Da Vinci and Tesla and the Beatles and Thomas Jefferson, among many others. All right, so let's grow this. Okay, the Bible is not the only thing. So quit quoting from the Bible as the only source. Look through all the sources and bring them all together to teach the greater picture, right? Quit your talk of hell. This talk of hell and Satanism and demonic and sin. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. And you just turn people off. Especially when people know that they're good people. And you're telling good people they're going to go to hell. Or you tell someone who's actually getting a psychic message, oh, that psychic message has got to be coming from the devil. Why? Because the person said he talked to his, Aunt Sylvia, who passed away last year. And somehow you think that's communication with the devil? I don't understand that. I'm going to a whole other set of videos on that. But quit talking about the devil, satanic, all that stuff. Especially to good people. It turns everybody off. Christians, open your mind. Christians, look beyond your Bible. Christians, don't listen to what your pastor says. Look around you. Read all the works of all the divinely inspired people. Listen to all the videos. Listen to all the psychics and all the messengers. Because all of us have something to add. Okay? So if you stop being so dogmatic, stop being so antagonistic to every other religion, you will help bring in all the others. It'll start bringing everybody. Everybody. And then we can grow the overall thing, which is the greater goal. It's not important that they become Christians. It's not important that they become saved from going to hell. It's important that their soul evolves. It's important that they become good people. It is important that they have a conscience, an ethics. That's what's important. Being a Christian is not important. Focus on the bigger picture. We have a lot of work to do if we want to help humanity evolve. And because you have a lot of influence, you need to step up to the plate. Now, I'll probably also be doing similar videos for other religious groups about what I see as right with their group and what I see as hampering the overall movement. But let's face it, Christianity is one of the biggest. And it's also one of the most offensive at the same time. So, quit being so offensive. Quit being so antagonistic. Welcome everybody into the realm of God. Okay? Invite everybody to be part of the spiritual evolution where they become fully connected with the divine. Whether a Christian or someone else, doesn't matter. And if you go for this overall goal, your actual goals will also be met as well. Because if they get to the overall goal as I see it, they're not going to go to hell. Because they've evolved and they become good people. They're not going to turn to the dark side and what you call demonic. Because they are good people. So, do what I tell you to do. Look at the bigger picture. Be more inclusive. And we can make this work. We can make this work. I wouldn't be going through all this trouble of telling you what's wrong with Christianity if I didn't also believe there's right. Okay? What's right with Christianity is pretty much almost a given. I really don't need to talk about it that much. It's what's wrong that we need to fix. Okay? To join the overall movement, we can evolve the humans of this world. Thank you.